Go. Good. Good. A little bit later than I liked, starting a Great Ace Attorney Chronicles stream, but that's fine. Oh, come on, don't. Ah, jeez. Should have tested this earlier. Oh no. Ooh, Loyola. Why are you being a little ditz right now? Ah, hell. Oh, hell. 1 second. One moment. There we go. Alright, that got fixed. Real easy. Thankfully. Alright. Alright, let's give it some time before we start the stream. This music is banging, it sure is. Also, hey Tiger, how you doing? Cat Jam? Yeah. Doing good, seems like. Alright. I think we've been waiting long enough. Let's get right to it. Adventure the crowded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back.
Oh.
Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Uh-oh. Alright, let's get to it. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gaslights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Buria, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except... when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance is so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that somebody would put a roof over your head for a whole year. Really? Damn. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. I really am sorry. Oh, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh. London is a scary place. Ah, good morning to you this early hour. Oh, there's the man. Oh yes, we are, well... Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Susanna is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh yes, it was very eye-opening, thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh. No longer are you a student to the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. Well, that was quick. My country is delighted to welcome young talents from such a remote eastern island. Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Another case already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? Silence is a valid option. It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? Silence is yet again another option. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Ooh. See if I can get this down again.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear feather, I could have asked for a better defense.
And laughing. I'm not going to bother laughing at this moment. My roommate is actually streaming. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo! It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. Silence is a valid option. Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry. What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial. No! What? Mr. McGilded is dead? I'm... Okay, so it did turn out to be that case. Wow. I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. Well, could you tell me why and how? I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course, that was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No. How could such a thing have happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already... The police have identified a corpse found inside the charged shell of the carriage as that of McGilded. That's awful! The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Salad is a valid option. Did I say salad? Is salad a valid option? Thinking back on it now. Immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus.
Well, that must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry, One inspection.
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who was Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. I'll leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded.
So, how did your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Or how did you find it? I don't know, I mean, it was... wow! Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Susato-san has such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Is Susato constantly reading his thoughts? Like, aren't the parentheses in blue text supposed to be that he is thinking about it? Why is Susato always commenting when he's thinking? The fuck is this? No one makes a mention of this. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. Silence is a valid option. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. I don't know about simple, good sir. Simple? That was simple? As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple. Silence is a valid option. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Silence is a valid option. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Silence is a valid option. Yes. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much is at least an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he going to say before? Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me it's a murder and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? Oh, finally! Fucking finally! That is to say, no one has died as yet. And the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Ah, so the trial's tomorrow then. Sounds a valid option. Is everything alright? Oh, yes, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut up for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There's one similarity of yesterday's case. Oh. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh. The situation remains unchanged. The trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome. The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Oh. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There is something I should like to ask of you. What's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Sogi. Ooh, development. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the grid's justice system in the world worked so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh! Another thing? Continue. On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important I have to do. Something very important? And what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain. You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion. Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Mr. Sogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. Oh, hey there. Oh, does he got those? Oh, what has he got there? Oh, is that some fries? Has he got some fries? Or chips? Chips, I should say. Chip Cheerio. I've taken to the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of this case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? Ooh. So, I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. Silence is a valid option. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. He sure doesn't. Also, I'm going to be right back real quick. I could actually use another cup of coffee, and I'm going to get some more water as well. So, do wait for me, please. Be back. Alright, I am back. Checking up on a couple things here real quick. Alright. Thank you for your patience. I'm back now. Oh god, I would love to have some of that right now. Wait, what? 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 How does that work? How? What? The food just grows back! How does he do that? It's growing back! He's found... this guy has found the fucking solution to world hunger, holy shit! It just comes back! What the fuck? Could we trouble you? What do you think? Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? Must be you young Japanese upstart. Oh, going there now. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eating out of your hand, you know. But Sasan told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man. Brat, chill. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. Oh, I'm very sorry. Oh, where'd he go? Can you imagine what the other officers will be saying, huh? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of those bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country that I've never even heard of. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? Silence is a valid option. It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. Later winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable, how did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from the Scotland Yard. Gregson? Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Sasala-san? Does this detective's name mean something here? Inspector... are you perhaps... the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Mr. Sato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact. Very well. Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, and that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine? That's right! Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible! Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. That's his highest praise? Oh boy, 1 second. Someone mentioned me. Got some messaging here. Wait, who's fucking? What? What's this?
Who's fucking?
Oh, god damn it. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen Markiplier. God. Well, not like I've ever met in person, but damn, would that be cool. Anyways. That's his highest praise? Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he is not. And thanks to that magazine, my name is known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit to start with, when I was little... Wait, I have to admit that to start with, I was little... well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand. My reputation at the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful then. No, it is not! There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folks are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Okay. Silence is a valid option. I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps the sudden rise to fame does change people. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before, as I crack my neck, feels good. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we were concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means... as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish we were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on the Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in the hospital unconscious. That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whoever was off with a suicide takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo, as she does a suicide takedown right now on Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Ryunosuke, you've angered her now. Yep. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So, there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit? Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question? Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Barak von Zykes. No! No, no, what? No. Oh no. Sounds like you heard of them then. Oh yes, we were very familiar with Lord Van Zieks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. Oh boy, oh. Lord Beric von Zieks, who we faced in the court only yesterday. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? When Von Zieks stand for prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. In every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. This Reaper of the Bailey nickname, I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates for against is found guilty, is that it? Silence is a valid option. Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. Honestly, I think that this is what I'm trying to see here, is that even if they are found guilty, they're like killed in some way, possibly, right? What of it? Oh, well, I think. That means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Ah! Magnus McGilda came a cropper on that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't really say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Yeah. Look, if Von Zieks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. Magic, magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are you really supposed to believe that? Whew, I could use a sip of that coffee right now, good lord. Sadly, I did not cool it down with any ice, so that's a little bit of a bother, but it'll do. Right, well, I filled you in as requested. I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place? That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over there to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already? He's as good as. Shaking like a leaf in his cell he is. He'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53? Thank you. Silence is a valid option. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man that they've arrested is innocent... You can well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm being honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events my shelf. And I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Silence is a valid option. Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go. Oh, boy. Why am I, like, suddenly so tired? Ugh. Oh, goodness. How's everyone doing so far? I'm honestly getting a little bit tired already. I do not like that at all. I did. I think I might run this. I think I might run this on auto for a little bit, so I can like actually eat. So don't mind the autoplay for a little bit here, cause yeah. Also, morning. Hey, Lowestown, how's it going? I'm gonna mute myself while this happens, if you don't mind. Sorry, I just rather want to stay awake and be able to do this and not like call it off early already. But yeah. Okay, I just want to say, what is with this guy? I love him, but what is with this guy? Hold up, hold up. Just move his arm just a little bit, and then he'd be dabbing. Also, is he doing the okay hand? Wait, what the fuck? Is he doing the okay hand? Okay, alright, anyways. Alright, I am back. Oh, jeez. Poor guy, though. Ah, he's... Poor dude. Seriously. I'm praising Anton. Yes! Yes! The symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers! Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me! Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't why I was showing it to you.
Then why else would you show me that?
Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. Oh, this guy. Okay, bye. Okay, we have a bent-ass wheel. The fence got a little wrecked. I swear it happened. Ah, look, Mr. Harudo. Naruto. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruto, to see one with my own eyes. Ooh, jeez, sorry. We are depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Haven't we seen them before at court, though? Of course. I have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your heady dream comes true. You silly girl. Oh, there's the man with the chalice, the infinite food chalice. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Greggyson. This is on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then. What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. What is with this, like, subtle, maybe not so subtle, no, this ain't subtle, racism. Granted, it is probably a product of the time, but, you know, damn. Well, do what you will, it doesn't bother me. The book's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. The verdict's a far-gone conclusion. Ugh, the stone-cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Alright, let's talk. Tell me about the Scotland Yard Inspector. Ever since I read about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. I swear, at this point in time, after this game, I'm going to accidentally say Sherlock Holmes more than Sherlock Holmes. Like, it's just gonna come naturally. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Kitty. Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. I mean, at least you won't get sued for saying Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Or you mean Sherlock Holmes? Yeah. God damn it. It does make them look the part. What is this that you got on your tail, Cat? It does make them look the part, saying that policeman there with his helmet on. I certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being in London, Bobby, is hard going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does. Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep, perhaps on their windows with a long pole. Do it myself going back a bit. I had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Really? Damn, walking 20 miles a day. That... How long of a walk would that be? I can't imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh my. I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals trying to evade the law? I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. Sounds as a valid option. I always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart. I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Your heavy heart will be in my heavy head if you do. Let's talk about the case. I happened to run 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on the open bit of pavement. Really? You wouldn't say? This seems to be pretty relevant. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. Whatever she said, never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's your policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. Actually haven't accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Nice. Also, 1 second. Alright. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but... But just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that no one else was present. Yeah. Gosh, alright, let me get a bit more coffee in me. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can't be sure. Really? Actually, you know what? Can I take a look at this? Mershaw, Calabash Road. Stretch? Want to make me stretch? Alright, I'll go to stretch. Alright, I'm gonna go to stretch. Oh, Jesus. And the chair gave out on me, good lord. Or at least, like, the suspension part of it did. Okay, I think I really need to get my hands on a new one at this point. There is something... Was there ever mentioning on which road the other case took place in? Because it feels like it took place on Calabash Road. Because why else would there be another name mentioned like that, you know? Like, it could have just been Briar Road right there. Why it doesn't have to say Mersham or Calabash, you know? How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. It... what? We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. It's a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There are witnesses now? Alright, you're gonna have to tell me, because what the fuck... Where are these witnesses, Inspector? Fellow and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He is a copper from Scotland Yard. Uh-huh. A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment when the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them banging the act and all. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest, you can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So I'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. She's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the event. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Sure will. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one thing, Inspector. What? But the person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Interesting different head animation? Was it something I said? The color is drained from his cheeks. You okay there, bruh? Silence is a valid option. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Phil Fattle! The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of crime and wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gabble gabble! Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rand's magazine. A wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives and stories. The so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there's an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only be fronted by the public thanks to their obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous as to us at Scotland Yard as he is to our criminals. Oh, why what? The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our victims. Really? That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Okay. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I'll just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It's all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in Kokoro for once in a good few years now. Yes, we did hear something to that effect. And the only person he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals? The violent ones? That's right. He picks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this is the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, it has got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as you put it. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Oh, she don't look happy. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make him a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. Silence is a valid option. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did.
Which makes him an involved party in the case. Aren't you just going to ignore that?
I hope not.
I assure you, it's simply not my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, we have no idea what the man's address is. Oh, it's Baker Street. How do you even know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221 Baker Street. The most famous address in the world. Wow. I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Sasai gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll send a carriage! So we're gonna have that reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Harlock Sholmes. Alrighty. Okay, I am gonna have to say that I'm actually getting really stupidly tired. I think I might not have had as much rest as I had hoped I'd have today, and my energy is just tinking. It's just going down. I am really sorry to say, but I am actually probably going to have to end the stream here already. I'll try and get more of this done tomorrow, because I really, really wanted to hope to do like the entire case in a night, kind of like what I've been the past couple of cases, but with how low my energy is right now, I don't feel like that's really possible at the moment, so I'm really sorry to say. But with that said, thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it's kind of short, but sorry. Here's hoping that I have a lot more energy to me tomorrow, and I can get the rest of this case done tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.